Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the sexy ninja, and the place to be for C Plus Studios and a Paper Saber universe. All the way here with a busted foot. Let's get this shit going. We're talking about AEW's Dynamite, April 19th, 2023 in Pittsburgh. Tony, Taz, Excalibur, all on commentary, and I gotta say, I had a damn good time. I'm already giving away the ending for myself when I rate this thing. I really did look forward to AEW Dynamite. The Mandalorian is over, so what do I have on Wednesdays? AEW Dynamite to look forward to. I've always looked forward to it, but I'm excited because we start this off with Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, coming out, and then Sammy comes out, then Darby comes out, then MJF, interrupts, and he's like, hey, he's like, and the best part about it is, like, these three are going at each other, Jungle Boy, Sammy, and Darby, and Darby's talking about, the ring on Jack Perry's here because it's this California clique. I was like, ooh, shit. Then Jungle Boy's like, the reason why you're upset because you didn't make it as a skater. And I was like, oh, shit, And then he calls Sammy a piece of shit, and I was scumbag piece of shit. I was just like, damn, guys, woo, calm down. But my boy MJF at his finest says, ladies, stop fighting over me. Hi, papi, hey, calm down. And he says, my boy Tony and I were talking in the back, and we said there's going to be a 4 pillars tournament, and he pulls a name from the hat that's going to get a bye on the first round, and that will be Darby Allin. So at the end of the night, it'll be Jack Perry, Jungle Boy versus Sammy Guevara, and whoever wins will face Darby Allin next week, and whoever wins that match is going to face MJF at Double or Nothing. May 28th, that's going to be a huge one. I still think, even with this tournament and all, it's still going to end up being a fatal 4-way match for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. I just have that feeling, just the way things played out tonight. We had the Outcast, Ruby and Tony, with Saraya versus Jamie Hayter and Dr. Britt Baker, hometown Dr. Britt Baker. They were waving those terrible towels for Dr. Britt Baker. It was pretty awesome. They started it off with just taking on each other, and this was a fun tag team match. The Outcast, though, they lost. Jamie Hayter, Dr. Britt Baker for the win, or did the Outcast lose tonight? So, great tag team, great match to start off tonight, great segment with Jungle Boy, Sammy, Darby, and MJF. We're just heating things up, and with Renee, and we got Renee backstage with Wardlow, and Wardlow says, to even the odds with QT Marshall, the man we haven't seen for a while, Arn Anderson, 4 Horsemen, baby, put up them 4s, looking great. And, I was like, damn, Arn, you looking great. You should check out his podcast. Has a great podcast. But Arn Anderson joining Wardlow in this fight with him against Powerhouse Hobbs and QTV. And I was like, let's do this. The Elite, they call out Blackpool Combat Club. Bryan Danielson's up there. He kind of, he's, what do you call it? What's that? I can't even think of that word. What's that word? I can't even think it. Oh, distraction. Duh, you dumbass. Distraction on the Elite, and then Blackpool Combat comes out, the sneak attack from behind. Then all of a sudden Don Callis comes out. He tries to help. He has a chair and he goes to the back. And all of a sudden, and then back. Bryan Danielson comes out and he has a screwdriver. He says, we're going to put an end to you, Kenny Omega. And Don Callis comes with Takeshita. Takeshita comes out for the save. So Takeshita has joined the Elite. I was like, what happened to Hangman Brian Page? Where's Hangman? I was waiting for Hangman to come out, but Takeshita I kind of felt was there just because Don Callis ran to the back, and I was like, he's got to be bringing out somebody, right? And I thought it was going to be a good old Cowboy, but no, it's Takeshita, and I'm okay with that. So that was pretty cool. The Elite, Takeshita, Don Callis, all in the ring, hands up. They shoot off the Blackpool Combat Club, and it's only gonna get crazier once we get to Double or Nothing. This is a big match for them to have at Double or Nothing. The Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club is just a matter of time, and it's going to be Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and apparently Takeshita is going to take on the Blackpool Combat Club. So bring it on. TNT Championship, this was fun. This was a lot of fun, just because I'm really not a big fan of Powerhouse Hobbs or Wardlow. I'll watch them. I'll just see what's going on. Like last week when Wardlow broke Powerhouse Hobbs' card that he got from Q and everything like that. That stuff was fun and made me care a little bit about this feud. But what really made this one pop is Wardlow wins. He's a 3-time TNT champion now. All right, so Wardlow in Pittsburgh. This is his home, this is like his second home and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, we give it to Wardlow. He's the champ again. He's with Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson gets revenge on QT Marshall because Penta comes out, because QT goes in, and Arn Anderson, like no other, with that DDT to QT Marshall, like it was flawless. Oh my God, he, as old as Arn is, he just snapped that thing, boy, and bam! And I was like, oh shit, Arn, I threw up my four horsemen sign. I was like, that's right, Arn Anderson, that's the shit. And you thought this was over? You thought like Wardlow's gonna be the champion right off into the sunset with Arn? Fuck no. We got Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. They come out, and now it's made into like, yo, now Wardlow, you have a target on your back, and you had the Luchasaurus and Christian Cage wanting that TNT championship. So big ups on that. And like I said, this match was pretty cool. Two big dudes, facing off at each other, and Wardlow for the win, which I'm okay with. Backstage, we have Renee with Sammy, then MJF interrupts, and he's like, hey, my favorite part about this is like, if you tonight, if you just lay down for, you lay down and you get pinned and whatnot, I will guarantee you a spot at Double or Nothing. I will guarantee you a main event at Double or Nothing with me for the championship. And he's like, yeah, and I got this check. You put whatever number on it, whatever, and Sammy grabs it. He's like, ooh, grease, he says to Renee, and in MJF fashion, he's like, whoa, yeah, grease. Grease ain't too expensive, and he gets the check back from Sammy, and he looks like, he goes, is this your price? And he's like, yep, that's my price. And I was like, must have been a big number. But and then Sammy's like, hey, we're friends, right? And guess what friends do? We don't shake hands, we hug it out. So that was pretty fun, especially what happens at the end of the night. But we have Commander versus Switchblade Jay White with Juice Robinson, the Bullet Club Gold now in full effect. Sean Spears is in the crowd giving out, Commander is awesome, man. I love this dude, and I've been watching him on Ring of Honor, and he has this great spot where he runs the ropes, and it's one of those things where I've already seen it, and I can tell a lot of that crowd is very new to Commander, and I was just like, okay, cool, he's gonna do it. And a few times, like, he was trying so hard to hit that spot, but Jay White would not give him that spot, and then he finally got that spot, and that crowd went wild. They're like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, man, that's such a great spot, running the tightrope, bam, going on, hitting Jay White, and but Jay White for the win. Switchblade is in the building. Bullet Club's in the building, baby. Too Sweet Me, Juice Robinson, and Sean Spears, though, when Commander ran the rope, he gave it a 10, and then when Switchblade won, he gave it a 5, and I was just like, yeah, Sean Spears. And Juice Robinson didn't like that, though. He got Sean Spears. He was like, here, you son of a bitch, pulls him out. They start beating him up. Then here comes my boy Ricky Starks, baby. He comes out, and now we have Ricky and we have Sean Spears, a team that's going to take on this new Bullet Club Gold. So the story continues with this feud. Renee is with FTR backstage. They said, hey, Mark was attacked. You should go check on him. And they run back there, and it's Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Sanjay, and Singh all back there with Mark. And Mark sitting in the middle like, hey, let's go whoop some ass. Let's go find what's going on, because Varsity Athletes and Slim J and they all attacked, Mark Sterling and stuff like that. They all attacked Mark. But Mark said he's okay, but he's not medically cleared. But he says, hey, you guys go team up and you go handle some business. And we're going to see that at Rampage this Saturday, not Friday. NBA playoffs are going on, so things are moved around, for the NBA. But in this moment, because there's rumors, there's things going on out there that at All In August 27th at Wembley Stadium in the UK, a big match is being proposed here, and a major return, and that is Mr. CM Punk, because when FTR ran to the back to check on Mark, they ran by some Pepsi machines. Are we reading too much into this? Is this something that we are just like, we're just like, chomping at the bit? But, will the Elite do business that way? Will it be FTR and CM Punk versus the Elite? It's a lot of speculation right now. That's what it is. A lot of speculation. There's little Easter eggs here and there you got to watch out for. And I think like what's been going on with professional wrestling today, especially in WWE, there's these little Easter eggs they keep in the background, and this has been happening for a while. And I like it. I'm just like, okay. And when I saw FTR run by the Pepsi machine, I was like, And I got the New Day going, who? So we got that big 8-man tag team match this Saturday on Rampage. Chris Jericho and Adam Cole go face to face. I feel like this right here was the meats and potatoes of the show, ladies and gentlemen. The meats and potatoes. Because not only did Adam Cole give compliments, give his flowers to Chris. He's like, hey, I read your book and this and that. He's giving him all these things, and Jericho's like, I have never respected you. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. It's Adam Cole, baby, and they square off and they fight and whatnot. Daniel Garcia comes out, Britt Baker comes out, tries to save, and they get Adam Cole. They lock him up on the ropes with that handcuffs and everything like that. Looks like they were struggling a bit to get the handcuffs, and then they got the Outcast come out and they attack Britt Baker, and they're attacking her with the kendo stick and making poor Austin watch Adam Cole. His real name's Austin, but Britt Baker was screaming that. I was like, give some surrealness into the show, if you will, because now they have this AEW All Access, which I have been highly enjoying. I've been really enjoying All Access. I can't wait to watch this week's episode. It's one of those things. I'm not big on reality shows, but when it comes to if it's done right, if it's done well in wrestling shows, because if you just a quick side note, if you have not watched AEW's All Access, I say give it a shot. It's one of those things where it's like you're following Sammy, Sammy's story, you're following Dr. Britt Baker and Adam Cole's story, and you're following the Elite. There's 3 storylines going on, and it builds up all the way into certain things. Like they just covered Full Gear was the last show I just watched. I still got to watch this week, but Full Gear was the last one that they did, the 3rd episode. And all this stuff with Saraya and all this backstage stuff, and it's so cool seeing this shit. And and going through my notes on those things, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. Okay, that's cool. So, it's definitely a peek behind the curtain. Kayfabe is very dead in a lot of ways, in which I can appreciate an MJF still throwing people's action figures and still being a dick and everything like that. I can still appreciate those things so much, because kayfabe was a very big thing, and a lot of old school guys, they lived and died by that shit. Fucking Ric Flair, when he crashed in that airplane, they when people went to go visit him in the hotel, and if the feuds he was having and everything like that, or the Chief Wahoo McDaniel, they would have to come through the back door. They made sure no one saw these two in the same place having friendly conversations, having a beer and everything like that. No, that's not the way you did business, brother. So you kept these things, and kayfabe was so real, but now it's not. But it's okay though. This is a whole new generation generation of pro wrestling. So more the merrier, in my opinion. I am enjoying AEW All Access. Now let's get back into Dynamite, and there's that cheap plug for All Access. You're welcome, Tony Khan. But there we go. You know, Britt Baker being hit so hard with that kendo stick. Adam Cole saying, no, you bastard, not her, me. You know, and Chris Jericho's like, see what happens, you know, with Daniel Garcia and stuff like that. But the Outcast laid one into Britt Baker. A lot of great heat, you know. The POS chant started happening. The only thing that I thought was kind of silly with this whole thing was the handcuff, the chain for the handcuff was very long. So, but for some reason, Adam Cole just kept his hand on the rope, being like trying to pull it away. But I'm like, dude, you literally can reach somebody because of how long that handcuff chain is. So I thought that was kind of silly, but you know, whatever. It made great television. It made Adam Cole, you know, be like, no, not Britt, don't do that. You know, and Jericho like, you didn't see me? Yeah. The Hardys and with telling the firm they're going to get their answers this Saturday on Rampage about when the ultimate deletion is going to happen. So, and we're going to hear from Jeff Hardy, who's back in AEW, and he's looking good, looking great, and can't wait to see what we do with this Hardy compound stuff with the firm. So hopefully that's going to be announced. They finally got Jade Cargill and Taya Valkyrie. They're gonna go and face each other for the TBS championship next week. Huge matches next week. And we got the JAS right now taking on the Acclaim with Daddy Ass. And this was funny. This was the stipulation of this match apparently. So if the Acclaim lost, you know, they had to join the JAS until Double or Nothing. No more Scissor Me, no more this, no more that. All the things we love the Acclaim for, no more. So, but the Acclaimed won. You know, they tried to get one up on them, and they got the loaded comb and everything, but Daddy Ass wasn't having it. He broke the comb. The Acclaimed for the win. But where do we go now with this storyline? You know, I think we kind of tired it out to this point. Now you've had the match, and JAS lost. Will they still be pursuing? Because they were trying to pursue, then they did the swerve, and then they took out the Acclaim, and all led to this match. So what's next for the Acclaim? You know, what is FTR in their future for those tag team championships? Because that would be fucking awesome. So we shall see. Now, the main event. Sammy Guevara versus Jack Perry, Jungle Boy. MJF's watching on, Darby Allin's watching on, and I gotta say, this is why I feel, this is why I, KMB, the one and only, you know what I'm saying? Can you hear me out there, folks? Throw up them two sweet signs, because this is the New World Podcast, and you listen to the New World Podcast, because I have great theories like this that sometimes fall flat, or sometimes they will become something, you know, to the wrestling fucking gods. Sammy Guevara got the win over Jungle Boy. Correct. MJF helped out, you know, and it was a count out. And then the best part about this is MJF and Sammy Guevara complimenting each other, giving each other hugs and this and that. They're best friends, right? They're best friends. So Jack Perry losing this match, and it's going to be Sammy versus Darby next week. I think MJF is going to help Sammy again, and I feel Tony Khan is going to come out and be like, hey, MJF, you have interfered twice in these past couple weeks, so at Double or Nothing, we're going to get our fatal four-way between these four awesome superstars here. Oh, sorry, pro wrestlers. Sorry, they are superstars in my mind. They're the epitome, the pillars, whatever you want to call them, pure fucking talent. And it's going to be these four squaring off at Double or Nothing because of MJF helping Sammy. Because because it's like you can't have heel versus heel. You know, I just don't see that happening. I just feel like MJF is going to go try to help Sammy, and then at the end of it, Tony Khan will come out and be like, hey, or Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone's like, hey, I just got word from the back. This is going to happen. He's going to Tony's going to be like, I just got word from the other Tony. Like, hey, we can't have it in this way. So at Double or Nothing, it's going to be a fatal 4-way for the AEW Championship. MJF will get mad, blah, blah, blah. But that's a huge main event. Huge. So, great night, 5 out of 5. I really had a good time. AEW Dynamite, April 19th, 2023. Tony Taz Excalibur on commentary. We're in Pittsburgh. Now let's get to AEW's Rampage this Saturday. A lot of good stuff going on. This was just a good time, and I can't wait until Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is going to be awesome. So, because we got a double stack loaded pay-per-view day that day. We got Battleground for NXT, and we have this, but I will be watching Double or Nothing first before I even watch Battleground. That's just because I'm so invested in this, and I'm slowly been paying my dues being invested in this new NXT. So, all right, y'all. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you love? What did you hate? We're pro wrestling fans. Let's talk. All right? Then after that, go get yourself some sweet merch from our TeePublic store. That sweet, too sweet New World Podcast logo created by Penta X. Go check out his music and also get yourself the true Sexy Ninja mascot. The little cute little guy with his purple hoodie and everything like that. An awesome sweet mask with his paper saber and created by Katie. Get yourself some merch. It supports everything here, keeping the lights on in this place. So keeping me nice and jolly with drinking my coconut water and everything like that. I'm slowly back on track on getting somewhat fucking healthy, so I could keep being here for y'all every single day, every single week, dropping some awesome New World podcast on that ass. All right, y'all? Now, share with your grandma, share with your grandpa, share with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja. Too sweet, baby. You know what's coming. And the New World Podcast is for life.